On top of a cliff close to the sea, Jane chooses it's the ideal opportunity for her to end things. A couple of days after the fact, Jane's dearest companion Olivia is attempting to go through her standard daily routine without letting the departure of a friend or family member influence her. She's an exceptionally aggressive young lady that buckles down in each class, practices each day, assists with Joseph's charity, is the captain of the debate club, and fantasies about going to Stanford College. The pressure brought about by the combo of stressing over college applications and a lot of work without a break to manage her misery is beginning to negatively affect her, particularly since she hasn't talked with her neighbor Izzy for some time. Izzy used to be best friends with Jane and Olivia, however months prior she started to move away from the other two, meaning Olivia needed to deal with the fresh insight about Jane's passing alone. At school, Olivia won't be seen as weak and likes to overlook every one of the whispering different of other students about her, not having any desire to concede they affect her more than she lets on. One evening, Olivia goes to see Counselor Billings to inquire as to why just 2 students from her school each year are picked by Stanford, to which Billings makes sense of it's just a normal and it ought not be treated in a serious way. She stresses over Olivia and how she's fixating about this such a lot that she went to the extent seeing previous year's acceptance rates, yet Olivia believes it's all part for the game. In a little while, Olivia guides the debate club through one more victory in the regional championship. Mr. Richardson is extremely pleased with his club's captain, and takes the risk to introduce Olivia to Camille, a student that just moved to their school and will join the club. Olivia isn't in that frame of mind to manage new individuals yet fakes to be inviting to the team. In the wake of sending her application to Stanford, Olivia can't resist the urge to refreshing the site again and again, however it won't help and she heads to sleep. However, rather than dozing, she looks into Camille via social media and gets jealous of the relative multitude of kind remarks she has from friends. The following day, between classes, Olivia actually looks at the Stanford site on her phone and is crushed to learn her application has been deferred. This news is beginning to drive her into a breakdown that she tries to contain and makes her unexpectedly see Jane in the corridor. Her body can't take this large number of emotion punches any longer, and Olivia winds up in the washroom hurling. Camille is in the washroom too, and keeping in mind that she says nothing, Olivia feels like karma is ridiculing her. Subsequently, Olivia goes to see Billings and finally allows herself to cry. Billings doesn't believe Olivia should consider this the apocalypse, and when she specifies the chance of sending a personal appeal for Stanford's board, Olivia makes that as her next step and leaves. Some other time when she goes to debate club, she finds she isn't the first one surprisingly. Camille is as of now there visiting with Richardson. To make matter worse, Richardson pairs Olivia and Camille up for training. Olivia simply needs to go over their argument, yet she gets extra bothered when Camille offers her assistance with rectifying what Olivia composed on the grounds that she has experience going to nationals and Olivia doesn't. Camille figures the group would profit from her leadership abilities as well, and this remark sets off a mental episode in Olivia that makes her pass out. At the point when she gets up a second later, Olivia can see Jane waiting around once more, however another terrible news is coming. Richardson can see she is struggling and needs to rest, so she won't be going to this weekend's competition. Unquestionably baffled, Olivia hurries to her vehicle to cry her heart out. Izzy sees her and in her concern, she drives herself to offer Olivia a ride. At the point when they return home, Olivia attempts to escape the vehicle after a speedy much obliged. Izzy believes that thing will improve and embraces her while crying and saying she misses Jane as well. The next day at school, Olivia hears Camille saying that she's filling in as captain this weekend, however she's almost certain Richardson will make it permanent. In light of the fact that Olivia's too sick to even think about working. Anxiety begins to get to Olivia once more, making her see Jane in the mirror, yet before she can really mull over, she's surprisingly approached by Izzy, who contemplates whether Olivia needs a ride again. She doesn't. However, Olivia can't allow the opportunity to pass and requests that Izzy grab an espresso with her like in the old times. The young ladies talk for some time and Olivia takes the risk to talk about Camille, inciting Izzy to research her. This is the way they find Camille was transferred on the grounds that in her old school, she outlined her teacher to make it seem as though he was harassing her. Izzy figure Olivia ought to utilize this data to blackmail Camille and make her back off, yet Olivia feels that would cross a line. During the end of the week, Olivia goes to watch the debate competition and gets so disturbed by Camille's brilliant performance that she adjusts her perspective on exposing her. She goes to see Izzy and shows her that she's found Camille's court order, yet she doesn't know how to continue without causing problems. Izzy proposes making a mysterious account on Connect, the social media everybody utilizes, and Olivia loves the thought. However, a snapshot of pity assumes control over then when Izzy snatches her old computer and finds Jane left her account signed in the last time she came over. After the underlying shock passes, Olivia proposes to utilize Jane's account to do this since it would screw with Camille's head considerably more, and Izzy acknowledges in the wake of considering the fact Jane would presumably adore this sort of trick. They start by sending Camille a private message, showing the screenshot of the court order and blaming her for doing to Richardson exactly the same thing she did in her last school. The young ladies even add Jane's account to their phones with the goal that they can keep on annoying Camille through DMs in between classes. Some of the time later, Camille is called to the principal's office. This can't be a coincidence, and when the young ladies check social media, they find Camille's profile gone. Olivia feels a piece remorseful, yet Izzy reminds her this is precisely exact thing she wanted, provoking Olivia to go to see Richardson with an innocent act as she is sorry for how she acted last week, pretending she would be okay to impart leadership with Camille. Richardson is impressed by her maturity yet needs to illuminate her that Camille has transferred once more. Satisfied by this new development, Olivia completes her appeal letter and shows it to Billings, who tells her the letter is too plain and not personal enough. This quickly destroys Olivia's positive state of mind, which possibly deteriorates when later Mrs. West lets the whole class know that every one of their papers were disappointing. Later in the early evening, Olivia requests that Izzy hang out in light of the fact that she's coming up with a thought. Utilizing Jane's record might be their solution to managing Mrs. West. Izzy contemplates whether going for a teacher next wouldn't be excessively, yet Olivia reminds her Jane despised West as well and she's forever been unkind to student, so she should be exposed. The following day, Mrs. West begins the class utilizing a screen that gets hacked by Izzy, who posts senseless messages and West's photos from social media while telling her she has a miserable life. The whole class starts chuckling and West flips out, really taking a look at each understudy's computers to find the pranksters as she calls them names. Olivia records the entire arrangement with her phone, including the second when West unintentionally hits a student with her elbow. The young ladies post the video from Jane's and it quickly becomes a web sensation, making West end up in a scandal and erases her account as well. The next morning, Olivia watches with fulfillment West leaving the school with her things since she's been terminated. The following time she sees Jane in the hall, she isn't frightened any longer, since she thinks her friend is pleased. At the point when Principal Rhodes comes to the study hall to request insights concerning what happened, Olivia tells her everybody saw exactly the same thing. The prank was cruel yet innocent, so West blew up in a seriously startling manner. Afterward, Olivia and Izzy find Jane's account has gained a crazy amount of followers, which would have made Jane extremely cheerful. This much power is extraordinarily thrilling, and the young ladies chose to utilize Jane's account to post about a lot of things they find in school every day, humiliating and cyberbullying random students by utilizing the phantom of their dead friend. Things possibly get unusual when a post for Jane's account, the impression that neither Izzy nor Olivia posted, yet since both swear they never gave anybody the secret password, they faulted in a moment of distraction. In a little while, Olivia finds Izzy hanging up a Stanford banner since she was accepted by them. Izzy feels awful that she could get in, however Olivia didn't, yet Olivia swears it's fine. When Izzy is gone, however, Olivia begins crying and sees Jane seem to pull the banner down. Olivia promptly puts it back up, yet this second can't leave her psyche, and when the following debate competition comes, she's too anxious to perform well and they lose. At night, Izzy visits Olivia with a bottle of wine. In the wake of hanging out of a while, Izzy admits she came to request that Olivia come to a party with her since she wants moral support since the party is thrown at her ex's home. Olivia acknowledges after some hesitation, and soon as they show up there, they notice Izzy's ex has moves on and is flirting with Josa, who everybody believes is niceness incarnate. Izzy disagrees. She thinks Josa is continuously flirting with everybody, including taken boys, and that she subtly has a drug issue. At the point when Josa attempts to say hello to Olivia, Izzy gets jealous and inconsiderately sends her away prior to dragging Olivia to the washroom to talk about her. To Olivia's shock, Izzy has additionally brought a few unlawful drugs, and Olivia persuades not to us it, by proposing to place it in Josa's beverage. That way everybody would think she isn't simply blameless. Izzy loves the thought and places the drugs in a bottle of juice that she carries to Josa with a phony conciliatory sentiment, giving an impromptu speech to make her drink. The juice permits Josa to relax and hit the dance floor with everybody like there's no tomorrow. At the point when the young ladies at last enjoy some time off, Olivia confesses to Izzy this is the most joyful she's been in months, and Izzy apologizes for having kept away from Olivia and Jane for some time. The two of them are glad to be friends once more, yet this adorable little second is interrupted with when Josa responds badly to the drugs and passes out. Among the stressed group, Olivia swears she can see Jane recording everything. A few hours after the fact, Olivia's phone explodes with notifications on the grounds that the video of Josa passing out is turning into a web sensation on Jane's account. Both Olivia and Izzy swear they didn't post it. In fact, neither of them recall in any event recording it. Olivia figures they shouldn't post any longer until this blows over, yet Izzy had enough and erases Jane's profile. At the point when Olivia gets back, she disregards her folks' concern and escapes to her room, where she can see Jane sitting at her computer. The following morning, Izzy and Olivia notice somebody has some way or another reactivated Jane's account. They likewise learn no one in the school accepts Josa's beverage had something in it. They figure she did it to herself. Izzy attempted to close Jane's account once more, yet no matter how diligently she attempts, it keeps coming back. This Olivia requests that she disregard it and work on their story so they match. At the point when Rhodes requests that Olivia come to her office for questions, she swears she saw nothing unusual at the party and that she hasn't connected with Jane's account since she passed on. Obviously false, that is encouraged by Jane showing up in the office asking her for secrecy. On the way out, Olivia hears Rhodes conversing with a computer expert on the phone, requesting that they get the IP address behind Jane's account. Figuring this might be what at last brings her down, Olivia runs out of the building in tears, and she can't resist the urge to see Jane's face on each individual outside prior to passing out. Izzy tracks down her and takes her to her home to assist her with recuperating. Then Olivia takes the risk to educate her concerning the IP chase, which prompts Izzy to figure they ought to confess all, hopefully keeping the scandal down. Olivia declines since she thinks confessing all will cause her to lose her possibilities at Stanford, and comes up with a thought. She goes to Izzy's father's office to check the router with a VPN site, just to find a lot of Stanford merchandise that makes her keep thinking about whether Izzy got in because of knowing the perfect individuals. At the point when Izzy sees her, Olivia bothering makes her untruth and educates her Therese nothing to be concerned regarding confirming the fact that her folks utilize a VPN service, so their IPs are protected. The next day, Olivia chooses to go for coffee and finds Camille, who believes a second should apologize for her disposition during the club meetings. At the point when she transferred, she wasn't in a good mental state on the grounds that in her last school, an educator harassed her. However, the faculty concealed everything and made it seem as though it was her fault. Guilt overpowers Olivia and makes her see Jane once more, so she races to conceal in the restroom to have a breakdown as she currently sees Jane in her own appearance, making her break the mirror out of resentment. At the point when she gets back, Olivia erases every one of the posts she made for Jane's account while Jane watches her. The following day, Izzy approaches Olivia to specify Josa got into Stanford, making her think about whether Olivia didn't play the party prank intentionally. Olivia swears she didn't, and after Izzy is gone, she takes out her computer to compose an email to Rhodes saying Izzy is behind Jane's account. Anyway, she can't force herself to send it and leaves the thought. All in the early evening, Olivia is preparing for another debate competition when she gets a call from Izzy, who is enraged in light of the fact that she's learned about the VPN excuse has been obviously false and notice Olivia erased Jane's posts. This makes her think Olivia is wanting to fault her for everything, so Izzy will call Rhodes and admit first. Refusing to be caught, Olivia chooses to drive the whole way to Izzy's to do whatever it takes not to admit it. However, Izzy's done with her, accusing her for hiding behind Jane's ghost as opposed to managing her problems. At the point when Izzy takes out her phone to call Rhodes, Olivia jumps on her to stop her, and the young lady winds up falling into the pool to battle over the phone. Olivia's fixation on winning makes her push Izzy so hard submerged that the unfortunate young lady winds up drowning. While she wept hysterically in distress, Olivia's smartwatch reminds her to remember the up-and-coming competition, so she assembles herself and comes up with an arrangement. In the wake of placing 2 bricks in Izzy's pockets, Olivia leaves her body in the pool to make it appear as though she did it without anyone else's help. Then, at that point, she showers and changed into a dress she gets from Izzy's closet, continuously making a point to tidy up any confirmation of her presence in the house. Finally, she gets Izzy's computer and posts for her, making it seems to be Izzy's admitting she's been utilizing Jane's account and that understanding the harm she's caused has made her end things. With everything that expressed and done, Olivia surges back to the competition, where she totally pulverizes her rivals and the group earns a spot in nationals. While they're celebrating, they learn about Izzy through social media, and Olivia is sent home to converse with the police. The officers trust her story and her phony tears, and when she's asked about the discussion Izzy gave her a couple of hours prior, Olivia pretends her friend had simply needed to wish her best of luck. A couple of days after the fact, Olivia at long last completed her appeal letter for Stanford involving her friendship with Izzy as a tragic story and the wellspring of her inspiration as a person, saying she needs to get into school to study on psychological well-being and assist with people that experience like her 2 dead friends. During the following debate competition, Olivia can see Jane in the crowd with a grin that shows she's glad she's gotten what she wanted. Alright, that was the recap of Jane 2022. Thank you for watching.